Good evening, folks, or good afternoon, or good morning, depending on where you're at what time you're watching this, depending on your time zone. Just give me a quick second to make sure that everything is okay on my end. Or you know what, I'll just welcome who's here already. Dexter the Nostalgia Toonster. Glad to see you on time. And we have Vincent, Vinzo, or Vincent. Yes, you are the lucky winner. And yes, yeah, I'm excited to show you what I decided to draw. Let me know if the audio sounds good on my end. The 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 voice recording and music is all balanced. Everything seems okay so far. Okay, thank you, Dexter. So we are gonna get things started right now. Welcome everybody to my 25th live stream. And just to briefly quote one of my all-time favorite SpongeBob moments. Hey Patrick, you know what's funnier than 24? Let me hear it. 25! Yes, I'm 1/4 away from 100 live streams. Uh, my 50th will be 2/4, my 75th will be 3/4, and then 100. So yeah, without further delay, let's get into the context behind this live stream. I announced this some time ago that, excuse me, I announced this some time ago that I'm gonna be doing a drawing request for selected winner from the random Toon Quiz show that I uploaded some time ago. And the winner I selected happens to be none other than Vincent. Yes, I know, 25 live streams in a row. Now, let me just pull up what I'm talking about here. So you see, Vincent got pretty much 9 out of 10 when he selected his answers. There were a couple of typos here, like he called the Moxie Soul the More Soul, and he didn't give the exact title for What About Mimi, but at least he got Mimi in there, so you know, I still accepted those. His answers were pretty close enough, and here's where his requests are. So he commented basically that he gave me 3 suggestions. One, that I challenged myself in drawing some anime, specifically the cast of Naruto. Or two, I could draw any other anime character I want. Or three, draw 10 characters from my favorite cartoons. And Vincent, I have to thank you for the interesting suggestions there. But before we start the drawing, if you don't mind, I'm gonna be showing. I'm actually gonna be showing you the one answer that he didn't get correctly, but he was so close, so close. Yes, I've set this up for whenever I want to show video clips, basically. Yes. Okay, so he got question number 1 right. He got question number 2 right, and well, basically he got everything right to an extent, except for the very last one. But he was so close. He guessed that it was either Dr. Katz or Whole Movies, and they're from the same. This show's from the same studios, from the same creators. This show is actually called the Dick and Paula Celebrity Special. I know it's very obscure. It was actually one of the first shows, animated shows, I should say, that was produced for FX, over a decade before Archer came along. But this show, just like pretty much anything by Soup to Nuts or Tom Snyder Productions. Uh, H. John Benjamin does a voice in it, just like what he did in Archer. Of course, that wasn't produced by Soup to Nuts, but still. So yeah, if you're not familiar, the Dick and Paul Celebrity Special was basically a talk show where they they interview obsolete or like historical figures, basically similar to that Mr. Peabody and Sherman show on Netflix, mixed in with Dr. Katz. You know, it has improv comedy and the squiggle vision. I saw one episode of it and it was okay. Maybe when I feel like it, I'll watch more of it and maybe even give more of my thoughts on it. But yeah, this was the one answer you got pretty much incorrectly, but at the same time you were close. I have to give you credit for being close there, Vincent. Okay, enough with my babbling. Let's get on with the drawing. So, what is it that I'm going to choose out of Vincent's ideas here? Well, I appreciate him suggesting that I should take on the challenge of doing an anime character, since I rarely ever draw those. So, I'm gonna be taking his second option and basically choosing which anime character I want to draw. So, Vincent, how do you feel if I draw Susie from Little Witch Academia? Yeah, so I saw the show on Netflix a while back, and I slowly began to like rewatch it on Netflix as well. It was pretty okay. It was pretty decent, honestly. Like it was mostly background noise, but Susie was basically one of the highlights. I absolutely like how she's the snarky sort of, excuse me, the snarky apathetic girl who could give very little cares in the world, and her design is very nice as well. It's charmingly troopy, I should say. So yeah, let me check to see if you're okay with me drawing her. Oh, okay, so you're good with the choice, and yeah, I think I'll just do Susie. Maybe, just maybe, sometime I'll draw the other three main characters as well. But if you want to be guaranteed, you can see in the pinned comment that if you guys have any drawing requests that you really want me to fulfill, it'll help me out given how I'm an independent artist and all that. You support me on Coffee for as little as, well, from what I could tell, it seems to be a minimum of $3. At least free Canadian dollars or free US dollars as well. Although I'm not sure if you could donate $1, but the default is $3 or more if you go on my coffee page. In fact, let me just briefly pull it up to show you just how easy it is. So yeah, this is my coffee page, and you could just click support for as little as $3. Oh, right. Yeah, yeah, yes. Okay. Okay, you don't mind at all. That's good. If I know any obscure animes, let's see. Well, I don't know just how obscure it is, but one that I completely forgot about until now. It's called Super Milk Chan. I drew fan art of it some time ago, like in 2018 to be exact. You could look it up for, for, for yourself if you want, but from what I can remember, Super Milk Chan is about this little blue-haired girl who is a superhero. Well, she's a superhero in name only, essentially. She's sort of she's sort of one of those full of herself type of protagonists. From what I could remember, it's been a while since I binge watched like a few episodes of it on YouTube, and it was sort of cute. Dexter X, any certain anime show that I remember watching or haven't heard of before. Oh yeah, there's several. Like overall, I'm sort of a casual anime fan. Like among the few that I come close to like it is, excuse me. Yeah, among the few that I came close to really like it is, well, for one, there was I found Yu-Gi-Oh to be surprisingly investing, intriguing, I should say. And I remember watching Hamtaro as well, so many years ago, back on YTV. If you don't remember, it's about all of these cute hamsters, and they did stuff while Hamtaro's owner is away to school or something. It's been so long since I saw it, but I remember liking that too. And what I have to mention is Ninja Hattori. I saw that on Netflix. It's anime from the the 80s, I believe. It's from the same people who made Doraemon, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. You know, that blue anime cat. But yeah, I don't know exactly who did that dub of Ninja Hattori that I saw on Netflix, but basically they forgot that they're dubbing for a kid show, because there are some instances where they actually swear, and not just simple swears like hell or damn, but they even said the S word as well. I'm not joking. I don't think Ninja Hattori is on Netflix anymore, at least here in Canada. But if you could see it on Netflix or wherever you are, go check it out and see what I mean. The show itself was pretty amusing. Oh yes, welcome voltage effects. I'm doing good. I'm just sketching Susie here. I'm not that much of a Willits Academia fan, at least for now, but Susie is one of the highlights. I've already mentioned that, but what I didn't mention is how, or maybe I did mention it before, but once upon a time, I used to overlook the importance of sketching my drawings before going straight to the final queen line with the final bold ink lines. It was only when I became when I began growing my digital art skills about 3 or 4 years ago, when I was like, you know, sketches are basically the building blocks before you get to the queen stuff. It's like a bag of flour. Before you get the prey cake, you need the flour, obviously, and then the eggs and whatever other ingredients you need before you put the cake in the oven, and boom, you got a nice tasty cake. And even when it came down to like my traditional art, like when I'm drawing on paper, I'll just go straight to making it look clean, essentially. Going straight to the cleaner outlines. But nowadays I feel much more confident in just just being rough, just roughly sketching my poses like here. So with my intentions with how I'm gonna draw Susie, I'm basically just gonna have her say "ta-da," like I'm gonna have her say "ta-da" in sort of a monotonous manner, which is fitting for her character of the medium amount that I've seen of it. Again, I have to like really watch Whittlewood's Academia. Like I watched some of the TV show, but at the same time it was mostly a background noise. But I also saw like the short films that preceded the TV show. Please correct me if I'm wrong. That they did filmed first before a regularly scheduled TV show on Netflix with multiple half-hour episodes that are dropped every now and then. Well, a batch of them, to be exact. Uh, and Vincent says, I figure I'd try to broaden your animation taste buds, but do you know the Gregory Horror Show? Yes, I do. I remember the mysterious Mr. Enter, talking about it. I haven't seen it myself, but what I do know, it's from the same people who did, Pekkawa. If any of you remembers that, some of you Americans may remember it airing on Cartoon Network, but I remember seeing it on weekday afternoons on Teletoon back in the day. It was basically a CGI anime where as the theme song explains, all of the world is square, like everybody is shaped like a cube. There's these funny animal characters with our main character is a penguin named Pekawa. They're all shaped like cubes, and I remember catching it on Teletoon back in around 2004. I was like 4 years old then. So maybe for nostalgia's sake, guys, revisit it. And Dexter says, did you know that Stitch from We Want Stitch has own anime series, as well as a Chinese spin-off? Yes, I do. I haven't seen it, but I have seen people talk about it, and easily the most memorable thing about Stitch, the anime, is how it takes place several years after the continuity of the We Want Stitch franchise, the original franchise, which technically ended with We Roy and Stitch, which was a direct-to-video movie that was the conclusion to the We Want Stitch TV series. And so with this anime, Stitch, he's with a different girl now. He's not living with Weewo, and apparently it's because she's grown up and she's now dated, and apparently that's an excuse why she shouldn't, well, she shouldn't like live with or have Stitch with him. But what- like some people say that it kind of defeats the main message behind like the original movie, which is Ohana, which means family, and family means nobody gets left behind. Like those are the exact words of the original movie. So yeah, that's most what I have to say about the anime. As for the Chinese Stitch series, I barely know anything about it. Okay, tell me how Susie is looking so far. If she's looking fly or something. Well, I know in a way she sort of is flying. Like with her bottom half, I have her sort of look like a ghost to sort of emphasize on her mysterious qualities about her. Let me just turn off the reference layer for a bit. Okay, and probably just move it to the side. Yeah. Oh, I need to draw the belt. She looks like a ghost. Yes. Yes, like I just mentioned, it's sort of the intentions with the style, sort of a stylistic choice. If you don't mind. Uh, yeah. Moon Chao says, this might be a biased opinion, but I think cartoon is more popular than anime. Well, you see, I don't know how much people keep this in mind, but the word popular is sort of subjective. Like, remember, animation comes in different forms in different parts of the world. There are some parts where cartoons, like Western cartoons made like in the US, Canada, and just on the Western side of the world, they're not that common all over the world. Like probably like Japanese anime is more common in more places in the world than others. So uh, I don't know. It sort of like depends on where you are. Like depends on where you are, like how popular, like say, an American cartoon is versus a Japanese anime. Screen Guy asks, do you have any old SpongeBob merchandise that I had as a kid? Well, currently the only SpongeBob merchandise that I have the art book, the SpongeBob SquarePants Experience, which is a really good look, a behind the scenes look at the show, and more recently, I just lost my pencil color. Let me just get it back. But yeah, and more recently I got the SpongeBob comics Trove, which is a big I think about 200 pages of SpongeBob comic stories and on a hardcover. And I have the VHS of the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, which many of us know is a masterpiece. But as far as old stuff that I had when I was young, when I was like really young, I remember having a SpongeBob toy that was sort of similar to Mr. Potato Head, in which you have different facial features that you could mix and match. Uh, Sometimes you could put on his regular eyes or the glasses that he'd wear when he's jellyfishing, and that's what. And you could also throw in either like his regular mouth or I remember there was one where he was biting his lower whip, and he came with accessories too. He came with a jellyfish net and a jellyfish. Yeah, I remember getting that toy many years ago when I was probably when I was 3 or 4. But of course I don't have that anymore. Oh, and also I just remember that the back of it was able to open, just like Mr. Potato Head. So I think you could store the facial features into the back of that SpongeBob toy. But yeah, it was great that I got to share that little memory. Thanks for asking that question. Okay, got some good questions from Dexter. Which do you prefer, anime or cartoons? Cartoons, plain and simple. And although I've slowly been working on becoming, I'm still a casual anime fan at this point, but I'm still working towards watching more of it. Like since last year, I've been watching a lot on a select number of animes on Amazon Prime Video. And what's my favorite era of animation? Oh boy. Okay. So technically, my number one favorite cartoon series, Looney Tunes, is from the Golden Age, right? But there's a bigger percentage of animation that's made in the Renaissance era, like ever since the late 80s, like around 1987, all the way up to like the beginning of this millennium. That's when people began to respect animation as a medium again, and not just in terms of storytelling, but also with visuals as well. It's a long story, but yeah, a lot of my absolute favorite animations come from the Renaissance era onward, or as what Wikipedia would say, just the modern animation in the United States, which is from the 80s and onward. Like it doesn't stop like at 2000. It just starts like from the moment we got stuff like the DuckTales original series and Who Framed Roger Rabbit and of course the Disney Renaissance with the Little Mermaid in 1989 and the Simpsons in 1989 as well, though they technically debuted it in 1987 on the Tracy Ullman. So, but yeah, short answer is Renaissance era is my favorite era. And what inspired me to do drawing videos on my YouTube channel. Simple. Watching other people draw. Uh, Sorry guys, I'm just sort of brainstorming my answers, but yeah, seeing other people speed paint or demonstrate their drawing skills, it basically inspired me to do the same. Like I think YouTube is one of the easiest ways to get get yourself noticed on the internet. And doing stuff like this, as well as my speed paints, it sort of exemplifies my skills. Okay, Susie is looking good. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts on the sketch. Vincent says, your drawing skills amaze me, DJ. Forgive me if I sound like a cliche villain, but I'll get you one day, lol. Still, I'm amazed at your drawing skill and CGI with the Wilkins coffee thing. Thanks, Vincent. But about that, as I know that as much as you guys like the little Wilkins coffee recreation that I made in Autodesk Maya, there are quite a few of you who thought be just as cool if I do it in 2D as well. Probably if I have time, I'll do that, but uh, it'll be separate from the reanimated entry that I submitted. And Vincent wonders how my stop motion skills are. Honestly, I never really fully embraced stop motion. At best, when I was younger, with my first smartphone, I would mm, take multiple images while moving my Bart Simpson action figure, but otherwise, I barely did a stop motion. But I just remembered, if you look very, very deep into my YouTube channel, you can find a cutout animated short that I did when I was when I was younger called "A Typical Day in Furry Falls." For curiosity's sake, you could check it out, but it's dated. That's the nicest thing I can say about it. It's dated. Mhm. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm pretty much done with the sketch here, and let's move on to the inking. Now, this requires some concentration here. So I think at this point, about once in a while, I would answer your questions. But I think right now, at the bare minimum, I would describe what I'm doing. Welcome, Delta Ray Studios. Just drawing Susie from Whittlewitz Academia. So, because I intend on spending an hour here, there may or may not be a chance that I will actually cover it, It- or at the very least, probably it could be saved for a separate live stream, or you could guys let me know, or if you're fine with it being a black and white sketch, and that's cool. Let's probably walk this way or so I don't accidentally draw on it. And I should name it too. Sketch and clean up. Uh, I've just moved the reference here. Moo Chow says, I do like how this is working so far. Thanks. Or you know what? I'm not gonna be uh totally sorry what well I did say that I'm going to describe what what I'm doing at the moment, but I was thinking there's some news that I want to bring up, which is well firstly there's a new streaming service in town. Well, technically, it's an old streaming service that was given a rebrand, which is Paramount Plus. Firstly, if you guys have Paramount Plus, let me know what your thoughts are are on it in the chat. And I know that one of the selling points for Paramount Plus is well, not just have the same Viacom owned content that CBS All Access already had, but also some original series, like most infamously Camp Coral, which is the CGI SpongeBob spin-off in which it was SpongeBob and the gang are kids and they're at camp. From when it was announced, people were basically up in arms because it goes against Steven Hillenburg's idea for doing spin-offs of SpongeBob. Well, unless if you want to count those, the short series Astrology was Squidward, which appear during commercial breaks. Otherwise, no, he was against real spin-offs. But ever since he went away, that was when the announcements for Camp Coral and also the Patrick Star Show were announced, and people were upset that Nick was supposedly disrespecting Steven's wishes. But the thing is, what came out recently was apparently Vincent Waller, who is a showrunner on SpongeBob and pretty much the go-to guy when asking SpongeBob trivia. He says that apparently Steven did knew about Camp Coral when it was being developed. Considering how the series is essentially a tie-in to the third SpongeBob movie, which does show a flashback of a kid SpongeBob at camp when he's meeting Gary for the first time. Like, there was that speculation that he was that he he might he might have approved of the idea the whole time. Oh, Norbert, welcome. How many vocals are gonna be in Classic Vocal Remake Part 5? Not tell you, Norbert, sorry. And Kristen, you're here too. Hi. How's everything going? Okay, so going back to what I was saying about Camp Coral, in general, Steven Hillenburg is somebody who, at first, he's hesitant about an idea of how to expand the SpongeBob series, but he eventually is okay with it. Like for example, he was initially against the movie. He just wanted to be the first three seasons, and that was it. In fact, fun fact, he initially didn't want SpongeBob to have that many seasons. Like when he was at a meeting with the Nickelodeon executives, when they're ordering the first season, he said that he wanted to do just a handful of episodes because he was sort of a perfectionist, not exactly a toxic perfectionist, but he was a perfectionist in sort of the humble way. But yeah, he was against the idea of the movie at first, but then he went ahead and directed it, and it has since become a beloved classic amongst SpongeBob fans. And Moon Chao says that the card is drawn of Susie, if I'd like. Okay. Although, again, I'm not sure if you guys want me to do this as a separate stream or if I could just do it in the background and also just post the finished product. Or if you like, I could I could produce a speed paint of this because one of the great features about Quip Studio Paint that they added recently was the fact that you could record speed paint as as you're drawn. If you go into File and then Time Lapse and record a time lapse, it records the your process for you. And when you click Export Time Lapse, it automatically speeds up your process for you. And I absolutely love that solution there. It saves you some time. It's a great time saver. I've been using it for my last two speed paint videos. If you want to check it out. Dexter is asking if it's fun drawing her. For the most part, yeah. But one challenge that I have is multitasking with drawn on the screen here and also talking. I'm kind of working at it. Well, the more I practice, the more I be efficient with essentially nailing the talking and the drawing at the same time. But like I mentioned, this requires some concentration. In fact, just right now, I realized that I drew Susie's belt the wrong shape, so I'm correcting it right now. Okay, so yeah, going back to what I was talking about, there has been some speculation that Steven Hillenburg was aware of Camp Coral, so the backlash towards that series has died down just a bit. Though now people are saying that's sort of mediocre, so at best. I've yet to see it myself, but of the clips I've seen, on one hand it's okay, but there, for most part it's okay, but there are instances where it made me laugh. I like the expressions that they did with these 3D models of the characters. And speaking of Nicktoons turned into CGI, has any of you seen the Rugrats reboot teaser yet? Uh, don't want to give too much of my thoughts because I've actually written them down. Because I'm probably gonna be yeah, I've written down my thoughts on the teaser. I'm gonna be executing them soon, either as a video or as a blog post. But yeah, my thoughts on the Rugrats reboot from that little clip that we saw. Looks like it's gonna be a solid successor to like the original series. Like I prefer that. I personally would prefer if they brought back as told by Ginger, but it's okay. Rugrats is it's good too. It's a West area, so a little bit better than the idea of bringing back Ren and Stimpy, right? At least Rugrats has less controversies attached to it. And Dexter asks, who's my favorite voice actor and why? It's a cliched answer, I know, but Mel Blanc for his wide range of energy that he gives to his voice to its characters. As for voice actors currently living, Tom Kenny, because for similar reasons with SpongeBob, nobody could perform SpongeBob the way that Tom does with that with that humongous amount of energy. And speaking of voice actors, Kristen did mention that he got to speak with Gray the Wild Griffin a week ago on one of those virtual Comic-Con convention chats that you have to buy. And I congratulate you so much, Kristen, for talking with one of your one of our voice acted idols. Yeah, just a moment. Right. Okay. There. Okay, Susie is almost done with the cleanup. Oh, welcome, Twisted Danes, or Clovis. Yes, it is, the Mushroom Girl. Susie. So I assume that you are a fan of the series. Sorry. And Dexter is asking about the Scooby-Doo Courage the Cowardly Dog crossover that's coming out. I'm still kind of fizzy about how legit that announcement was. I'll have to double, triple check for any valid sources as saying that it's happening, but if it is, cool. We got to see something with those two cowardly dogs beyond the simple Cartoon Network bumper. But speaking of Scooby-Doo movies, there's Maxwell Adams released a new Scooby-Doo movie, or technically he directed one. Directed another one after Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo. It's called The Sword and the Scoob, which I assume is like a Sword in the Stone, King Arthur type of story. I haven't fully looked into like exactly what the premise is about, but yeah, that's the basic idea of what I got with what the sword and the scoop is about. And considering how Happy Halloween Scooby Doo gives some vibes of Billy and Mandy's jacked up Halloween, the idea of King Arthur story done by Maxwell Adams. It reminds me of the Evil Concarne episode, the last one to be exact, Hector King of the Brits, where Hector and the gang goes to Britain and to retrieve Excalibur, which is King Arthur's sword, but they have to do all of these or at least Hector has to do all of these dumb favors for the Lady of the Lake. And the special thing about that episode is that it's improvised, and with voice actors come up with stuff like on the spot. Most notably, and I know Kristen is aware of this since he did talk with Gray the Wild Griffin, but the scene where Major Dr. Ghastly was sort of talking about how cheap Hector is, in actuality, it was Gray talking about how cheap her boyfriend at the time was, and that was back in 2003 or 2004, and they did record that, and she talked about it in at GalaxyCon during the Billy and Mandy reunion. In fact, I saw clips of it in a video that I uploaded some time ago. You could check it out. Oh, and Dexter points out that the original title for the new Scooby movie is called Scooby-Doo in King Arthur's Court. Interested. I remember one of the last times a classic cartoon character is in a King Arthur sort of story was Bugs Bunny in a Connecticut Rabbit in King Arthur's Court. I think that's what it was called. It was an okay special. And Clovis says that he watched, I assume he's referring to Whittlewick's Academia 4 years ago, and it was fun. And yeah, that was approximately it was 5 or 6 years ago. I saw Whittlewick's Academia for myself on Netflix. And if you have a favorite episode, Clovis, of the series, probably leave it down in the comments. Okay, let me just move this to the side. Now, excuse me as I do another check with the accuracy between the official model and my drawing, even though it's still sort of in my style. Yep, I'm going to get to the color. Uh, if you guys it seems like you guys really want me to color it in one place here. Eh, Okay, I'll do that. If you guys really want to. Oh, hang on there. Okay, I'm gonna get to color right about now. Yeah. Oops, wrong layer. Okay, okay. See. And when we name this layer color, I'm gonna be doing flat colors. But I'm also going to implement the basic saddles like around where her hat is. Okay, Quova says that his favorite episode of Whittlewitz Academia is probably the one where Aku found out that Ursula was Sunny's chariot, and that she spoilers during that night years ago she was a kid. Interesting. I should probably check that out. And Dexter says that it's been past 58 minutes. Yeah, I'm just going to current this is gonna be the last thing I'm going to do on this stream. Yes, this is Susie from Woodward's Academia, CN and Nick fanboy. Welcome. Oh crap, I forget something. Oh, oops. Okay. Nope. Okay. Sometimes coloring could be about as tedious as doing the actual line work. Sometimes as tedious, but not necessarily equally as tedious or even more tedious. But this gets the job done. Dexter asks, does he ever smile at the anime or not? She does. Oh, cool. A fan just bought me a coffee. Thank you, anonymous fan. I appreciate it. But speaking of coffee, I did mention before that if you want a guaranteed drawing request, that you buy me a coffee. But I should have been more clear and say it doesn't mean in this live stream because I'm focusing on one request idea, but definitely in a, a future live stream. Basically, that's what I meant to say. But either way, you're still supporting me as independent artists, growing my my skills and so forth, and I appreciate it. Yes, I just read the message from the fan, and it said, "Keep up the good work. Thanks." But yeah, in case I didn't answer your question, Dexter, yeah, sometimes Susie does smile, and for sure it's more often than when Mandy smiles. Is that right, Quovis? And definitely doesn't cause the natural order to be destroyed. If any of you remembers that Billy and Mandy episode with the beauty pageant. I got that. Okay, as I'm continuing to cover, how about you just feel free and share your thoughts on what's been going on in your day, in, any interesting news you want to share, and I probably will answer and give my take on it. Dexter's accent. Two simple questions. Favorite cartoon show and movie? Favorite cartoon TV series is SpongeBob, technically speaking. But as far as anime series, the original Looney Tunes shorts from the golden age of animation that were released in theaters only became televised in the 60s onward. And as for favorite movie, Toy Story, the first one. And the sequels are great as well. Yes, I can't wait for Space Jam New Legacy Easer Dexter. Although there's already been some backlots. Not gonna go into it too much, but basically, they want Pepe Le Pew to be cut out of the film because he is not PC enough. If you watch his cartoons, he's always going after that black and white cat who accidentally has a stripe on her back, and always going after her. And these days, it's not considered to be as appropriate for our audiences. Even though, given how we know that Pepe is essentially a stalker, we should really root for him to begin with. If I think that we should see Pepe Le Pew's cartoons how not to how not to go after the love of your life, or who you assume is the love of your life. Yes, and about Wawa Bunny's design too. And she looks fine enough. People are kind of overblowing it. I, I just covered this there, the shadow of her neck. Let's just make it a little darker. Oh wow, we are uh, almost done already. Just give me some little concentration, guys. I sort of put on a reference picture which has the what has her mouth open, so I get an idea of what the color of her of inside her mouth is like. And so, okay, I'll just improvise. Just have be a simple dark color like this. Oh yeah, Raya and the Last Dragon, that did come out just last Friday. I haven't seen it, so no spoilers in the chat, please, because I really want to check it out. Or at least when Disney decides to drop the $30 paywall, similar to how the live action Mulan remake it was released exclusively to Disney Plus with a $30 paywall, like you have to pay $30 to pay it. But eventually they took it off and made it free for everybody. So I predict that they'll do the same with Raya and the Last Dragon within the next few months. Essentially, though, I have heard good things about it, and I saw on Twitter that it has 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. I know Rotten Tomatoes shouldn't be worshipped, but it's still something. Still gives you an idea of how people are reacting to the latest film. Oops. Okay. Okay. What am I missing? I know what I said. No, no, the color of the belt and this little shape on the hat. It works fine enough. Okay, so I covered that already. Okay. Give me one. Oops. Okay. Okay, now the stars. Okay, C's. Essentially done. Well, I was gonna say since we almost done, I should say. I'm gonna be adding the saddles now. Oops. And okay, thanks for your time well spent, Dexter. And you too, Ethan. Oops, wrong tool. Okay. Let's make this a darker color. Okay, right here. And then right here. Okay. I have to increase the length of the saddle one, like up to at least about this half of her eyelids here. And even then, I'm gonna be using a different color than the one I'm using for the shading of her hair. So let me get right to that. I have the eyelid selected already, so that's good. Uh, Probably just a little bit wider. Hang on, there hang on there. We got some paint bleeding over here. Let me fix that. Okay. Okay, the saddles of where her undershirt is. Oh, Muchao says that I should put this on a t-shirt and that they'll buy from me. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. You know, I gotta tell you, Muchao, that I'm gonna thank you for the idea because the funny thing is I've already had that idea in mind, essentially to have this design be on a t-shirt on also both of my stores. I know Little Wits Academia has a pretty solid fan base going on. Okay, almost done. Just going to add some darker shading in these parts. Start with this. make that darker. And go over here and make this darker. Welcome, Oscar, and Classic Logo Remake Party 5 is gonna be done this spring, most likely in April. So stay tuned for that. I'm absolutely in love with how it's turning out so far. Oh, I just noticed. Uh, okay, so basically there was a little wine in this area, right beside where her left eyebrow is. Like I drew it in the initial Inked, and then I erased it. But then looking closer at this model seat here, uh, it actually was there in the first place. So you know what? I'm gonna go back and add it. And while I'm here, I'm going to fill in these little gaps. Oops. Oh, using the wrong tool again. Wait a second. Oh wait, I remember. I still have something selected. Sorry. Okay. Now that will work. And clean up here. And clear up these little gaps here. Okay, Susie's basically done here. Oh, darn it, what am I doing? So yeah, Susie is basically done here. Hang on. Let me just turn off the reference so you can have a better look. Oh wait, one more touch. There you go. I might fix this up in Photoshop to make it be t-shirt ready. And in general, I'll add some more fists and touches once I close the stream. But yeah, that's essentially it that I have for today. So as I always say, thank you for your time spent chatting and watching me draw this anime character. A rare instance of me drawing an anime character. One who I find to be appealing still. So yeah, I might make this as a speed paint as well, in addition to like releasing this on its own and on April as well. So basically stay tuned, and until next time, take care. Yes, you're welcome. Take care, everybody.